The Byford Dolphin accident highlights the importance of strict adherence to safety protocols in high-risk environments. The incident occurred at 4 a.m. on the 5th of November 1983 in the Frigg gas field, 125 miles southwest of Bergen, Norway. The marine weather was consistent with a strong Atlantic cyclone over the northern North Sea. Southerly, southwesterly gale force 8 or 9, very rough high seas, frequent rain showers with reduced visibility, air temperature around 5 to 8 degrees Celsius. The drilling platform was equipped with a saturation diving system accommodating up to 6 divers manufactured in 1975. Failure to isolate the chamber before disconnecting the dive bell caused a catastrophic decompression event, resulting in the deaths of 4 divers, a supporting attendant, and severe injuries to another. In sincere respect for the divers, their families, and those staff on the platform experiencing the consequences, they have not been named. Why did it happen? The accident occurred when the bell had just been recovered on board after 2 divers had completed their shift at a depth of 90 metres. The official Norwegian investigation noted the weather conditions at the time within the allowable range of the rig's station keeping and stability, but not suitable for continued diving operations. In other words, the rig could remain on station and continue deck operations, but the sea state and wind exceeded the diving operation permitted limits. The diagram at the top right, figure 1, shows locations of personnel just before the accident. The 2 divers had been in the water for almost 2.5 hours. They left the dive bell one at a time, leaving wet gear within the trunk, before traversing into the accommodation chambers. 2 other divers were resting in chamber 2. There were 2 diver tenders, both experienced divers themselves, helping on deck outside the bell, and they had been working for a total of 12 hours and 48 minutes when the accident happened. Deck operations would have been hazardous and weather conditions impacting communications, but these were trained professionals acquainted to the harsh conditions in the North Sea during winter. The picture bottom right, figure 2, shows the probable position of diver 4 about to close the pressure-tight door within chamber 1. The door opening was 60 centimetres in diameter. The door was not fully closed, leaving a crescent-shaped gap, when one of the dive tenders released the docking clamp. All inhabitants of the diving system were killed painlessly within a fraction of a second by rapid expansion of the gases and fat within their bodies. Both dive tenders were severely injured by the ejection of the dive bell. One died in the helicopter en route to hospital. The cause of the accident was assigned by the Norwegian official report as fatigue, potential miscommunication, and inadequate routines. As the dive tender that unlatched the system died of his injuries after the accident, the reason for failing to latch the clamp, shown in the centre picture after failure, remains uncertain, and therefore attributed to human error. Comex Norge, the diving contractor, owned and operated the diving system on board on behalf of the platform operator. Following the accident, the saturation diving system was heavily scrutinised. The investigation revealed flaws in safety control as there were no interlocks preventing maloperation between the dive bell and chamber. Norwegian rules requiring interlock mechanisms were introduced prior to 1983, but the move had yet to be implemented across all equipment. 1 month after the accident, the rule was made final for all bell systems. The 1970s were a pioneering era for the offshore sector. It is estimated that more than 100 divers have lost their lives since the inception of the oil and gas industry. In June this year, a statue commemorating divers who have lost their lives in the North Sea energy industry was unveiled in Aberdeen. Learning points. This tragedy is seen as the most severe commercial diving incident in history. The accident was 5 years before the Piper Alpha fire in 1988. Subsequently, in 1992, legislation requiring safety cases for offshore installations was introduced, including diving operations. Safety standards have greatly improved, but the events of the Byford Dolphin platform still serve as a reminder of the critical importance of safety culture, engineering controls, and procedural discipline in preventing catastrophic incidents. Complex operating scenarios cannot rely on human judgment alone for critical safety decisions. The human is part of the overall system, but our designs should not put any human in a position where an understandable human error could lead to very serious consequences.